Misery Island sits offshore of Manchester, about a mile from the innermost part of the harbor and about a half a mile off of West Beach and Beverly Farms. It is an island which is now privately owned, and it's owned by the Trustees of Reservations, has been since 1935, whose headquarters are at 572 Essex Street in Beverly. When Misery Island first got its name, I suppose that's important that people understand how a place as beautiful as this got the name Misery Island. Back in the early 1600s, a man by the name of Morton was shipwrecked out here in the wintertime, rumor has it around Christmas time, and was out here for several days. And I imagine that time of year it was pretty miserable to be all alone on this island.
Misery Island has not been miserable for Dave Ryan, superintendent of the island since 1969. He has worked 19 years maintaining and preserving the natural environment.
It certainly hasn't been miserable for me, or I wouldn't have stayed here for 19 years. The island, when I first came out here in 1969, 19 years ago, had very, very little in the way of cleared areas. A little area down in the cove between the beach and the pond was clear, and that was just about it. And everything else since then has been cleared by young people, mainly some volunteers, quite a few volunteers in the early days at the height of the ecology movement, and by the regular crew, of which there have been usually two high school age boys have worked out here with us. It's been more fun than anything else, really. We also, I go over and get some grain at the co-op, and we feed the ducks. We have about 70 wild ducks in here, and they bring their young up every year in here. Some of them have been coming back for several years, and the reason we know this is the bands that are on them. We know that they've been here before.
Feeding the ducks are one of the many things that keep Dave Ryan busy. Another role he plays is educator, knowing facts of history about the island before and after the turn of the century. Misery Island was once a 9-hole golf course and casino. Dave enjoys relaying this information to visitors and pointing out buildings that vanished years ago.
You can see the gazebo on the end out there, on the end of the other shore.
It was the gazebo?
Yep. Right out there, plain as day. This is the site of the old casino, or original clubhouse, that we're standing in. The pilings that you see here essentially were the porch. This was probably the most scenic spot that they could have picked to have built the clubhouse. It's absolutely gorgeous view, and of course it's high enough so it catches the breezes from almost every quarter too, which it gets hot out here in the summertime. Some people don't believe so, but it does. And looking across the cove, looks like a stone wall on the other side, that actually was the base of a house which was referred to as the custom house. In fact, there was another house that was up above it where the woods are now. There was a little gazebo, which almost looked like a little place you could sit and enjoy the view in the summertime and catch the breezes from both ways. As a summer colony, it really did not flourish the way some others have along the shore. They had problems with water. They had salt water infiltrate the water pipe coming over, because the main water tower that was over there in the middle of the island, the high point, could not supply enough water, even at 25,000 gallon capacity, to supply all the people on the island. In fact, some of them even had supplementary water supplies. Had a walkway around it. It was built like a barrel actually, and it had big metal strapping went around with turnbuckles, big wooden structure. And this also was destroyed during the fire of 26. There was a fire that spread from the West Beach end of the island, clean across the island, took the casino out, and almost all the houses, except for the custom house and for Howard's house that was on the other side. And of course there were 2 or 3 houses on the windward side of the fire, and they didn't go. But by 1950s, all the houses had burned.
No houses are left on Misery Island. You can still see old foundations of buildings that once were. When Dave first started working on the island, there were no open spaces.
We've got about 12 acres opened up now, which does restore some of the open aspect of the island back when it was farmed in the 17 and 1800s, and back when it was a golf course, and even after the initial houses were put out here in the early part of this century. There isn't much of a forest out here, and it's mostly sumac and aspen, which are the pioneer trees. There are, however, an awful lot of blueberries and raspberries and blackberries that visitors to the island love to pick, and they're welcome to.
Visitors must go by the rules, though, regulations set up by the Trustees of Reservations that make Misery Island an appealing place for all to enjoy.
Regulations out here are not very extensive. No camping because of public health reasons, and fires have to be on the beach, and those are the 2 major ones. In addition, one more, all trash has to go with you. No trash can be left on the island. We do not have dump facilities, and so we do request this. There is a $1 per person over 12 as a landing fee, and this helps to defray the cost of maintenance. Or for boat owners, there is a season membership for $35, which allows you to bring, people you can bring on your boat in one trip ashore, and you can come every day if you'd like. We'd love to have you every day.
Good to see you. Just look at it. Good to see you again. God, I looked for you the other day. I thought you were keeping it.